And since the president first set foot on the campaign trail, we have heard one message over and over.
My administration will follow two simple rules: buy American and hire American, okay? Because from now on, it's going to be America first.
Sounds great in theory. But a number of American business owners say they cannot hire American, and a limit on visas for legal temporary foreign workers coupled with high demand have them struggling to even stay afloat. NBC's Dartanoro Clark has been reporting on this story. He joins me now. It is so interesting that when we came upon the story, I said, you must come on. I live in a small town on Long Beach Island, New Jersey, where the season is 10 weeks long. And our restaurants, who have to pay 10 grand just to apply for these foreign worker visas, didn't get all of them, would love to hire Americans where they don't have to provide housing, they don't have language barriers, they don't have legal fees, and they can't. There aren't enough, and the restaurants can't stay open.
That's right. I've spoken with business owners in Texas and Ohio and Illinois and Maryland, and they all say the same thing. They want to hire American workers, but they can't because American workers aren't attracted to these seasonal jobs. And they go to the H-2B visa program to get foreign labor. But with the changes this year with the Trump administration going from a first come, first serve to a lottery system has really hindered a lot of these businesses from accessing these visas. And a lot of them were left without foreign labor, and they're scrambling to save their business.
What was the administration's explanation for doing so?
The demand. In the first 5 business days of this year, they received 47,000 applications to get workers, and that exceeded the cap, and so they needed to shift to find a way to give out these visas.
But would the administration make the argument, we have a wage problem in this country, we need to cap the visas in order to get these businesses to pay more and attract American workers? Could they possibly make that argument? No,
because the businesses pay more than minimum wage and some local, and sometimes higher than the federal minimum wage. I've spoken to business owners who say they've gone to job fairs. They're advertising wages that are sometimes double the local minimum wage, but American workers just aren't attracted to these jobs in a good economy with low unemployment.
The president promised to support small business owners.
That's right.
So from those who you have spoken to, how do they feel? Because business sentiment, small business and large business sentiment is up.
Yeah, they feel that this program actually helps American workers because they're employing a lot of American workers, but on the labor end, a lot of Americans aren't attracted to that end, and so this program actually supports these American businesses, but they feel that it's being conflated with the immigration debate, that immigrants are coming in and taking American jobs.
All right. This is a great piece. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it this morning.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.